Hello, sluts. We have unlocked a new location. I had you in my bed, might as well have you in my shower, right? I'm sorry that I was so in my feels last week. That was a moment of weakness. Trying to focus on myself a lot and pouring into obviously the things that I love and the things that I do and the things that I want to see flourish. So that's what I'm doing. I honestly was so ready to not post this week and take a week off. Um, but I took the entire month of March off. And I just feel like persisting even in moments when you don't have necessarily have like the capacity or the energy to can be it can that like to me is the most rewarding, and like the worst moments in my life was when I was not working towards anything. So I'm back. So Thursday I had like honestly one of the worst days that I've had in a while. I went to this sushi spot. I can't say the name because they're a small business and don't want to ruin anything for them in regards to sales. I have gone to the sushi restaurant honestly. So I used to go there like every single Friday for a couple years, and then finally I got a caterpillar roll, and the eel was not good on it at all. It was bad. Still to this day, I can never have eel. Just makes me sick because of the time that I had the bad eel. But anyways, went back this past Thursday. Their spicy salmon roll is really good going down, but it never it never sits right in my stomach. And so went and I had my spicy salmon roll, salmon avocado roll, and I was like, let me take a walk downtown. I want to see what's going on downtown because the World Cup is. So I had my sushi, and then I wanted to go take a walk downtown since the World Cup is in town. I went to see what kind of characters I could meet, who was crawling around the streets. So I go downtown, sit down in a bar. I have a glass of wine. It was like 1:30 in the afternoon. I immediately, as I'm sitting at the bar, my body gets completely hot, and I'm like, I'm going to be sick. So I close my tab, I head out, and as I'm walking, I'm like, oh my god, there's no way that I'm going to be able to keep this sushi down. I threw up on the side of the street. Oh my god, I was down bad. And that night, my friend invited me to go to get drinks with her and her friend. And I was like, yeah, sure. Because I wanted to be social. Like, I was feeling social. I wanted to chat with people. I go to the bar and I had one too many drinks. I low-key blacked out. I've never blacked out drunk before ever. This was a first for me. And I guess I just like felt so embarrassed the next day. I woke up on Friday morning thinking that like my life was falling apart. I like had plans to move to Puerto Rico. I was like, I can't, like I need to start over. I need to start anew. I feel like nothing in my life is going the way I want it to. And now it's Saturday and I'm still sort of sitting with those emotions and like figuring out like what it is that I need to work on and work towards. But it's a journey, We all make mistakes sometimes. Sometimes we get blackout drunk, and that's just what it is. I travel back to Pennsylvania in 2 weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. I think that I need it so bad. And then after that, I am trying to get away. I'm renewing my passport next week, and then I'm going on a 3-month trip around Europe, and we'll see what the fuck happens. The world is my oyster. That has definitely taken me away from my writing projects and just this small bump in the road. I need to let out some of this water. But anyways, my essay this week is about the this story is going to make me sound like such a crash out. I swear I'm not a frequent drug user. I'm definitely not always blacking out drunk, but I've had my experiences and I've definitely experimented some. This story is about the second time that I ever did acid, it was actually February 2020, a month before COVID started. I decided to do a little bit of acid in a park in Redondo Beach, just kind of see what feelings came up for me. This was maybe, I guess this was like less than 2 years into me living in California. And when I first moved to California, I had a clothing line. And I just like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I realized I was like, I need a rebrand and shut it down for like 6 months, trying to figure out like who I was in terms of like my identity, my brand identity, my design identity. And I took these 6 months off to really explore my being and explore who I am. And I thought doing acid would be a good idea. This was my second time doing acid, and like the first time I think was probably a year prior to this. So I did some acid in a park, and it was like absolutely a beautiful experience. I've never had a bad trip, and I feel like every time, like it's a roll of the dice every time. And that's why I haven't done it again, because I'm like, at some point I'm gonna have a horrible experience, and I don't want that. The things that I would do when I was like 19, 20 years old is like so ballsy and not at all what I would do now. I remember when I was like 16 years old, I would go to my friend's house and have like 7 shots of vodka down the hatch right there, right then and there, my life, and be like chill. I'd be like go home and fucking watch TV with my mom and somehow keep my composure. I think as I've gotten older, the way that my body reacts to things is so much different. I'm unk for real. Anyways, so did acid in this park. It was an absolutely beautiful experience. Like prisms and all this green. It was just so stunning and beautiful. And we decided to mosey our way down to the beach. It was maybe like a 20-minute walk. I think something that I talk about a lot in my podcast. I never really saw myself in much, like growing up. I feel like I didn't really relate to other people. People didn't really relate to me. I never really felt like connected to a specific part of nature. And maybe it's because I was so out of my element and out of touch with myself that I wasn't able to really feel what nature felt like around me. If you get what I'm saying, like I just wasn't able to actually immerse myself in that feeling. And when I was sitting on the beach this day on LSD, there were these beautiful fluffy clouds in the sky, and they were just floating along just so gracefully and peacefully. And that was the first time I was like, I really felt like I saw myself in nature. I completely connected with the clouds and the way that they were sort of like observers in a sense. Like the clouds are just sort of looking down, watching us and not interacting with us because of their obvious distance from us. I think that definitely represented that time in my life, that part of my journey, that time in my life, and that the task that I was being presented with was just to be an observer and to watch and reflect on both myself, my own mind, and the world around me. So I deeply resonated with that, and I decided to build my brand around this idea of sort of head in the clouds. And even though I think that now I'm I think now my task, my journey, the era that I'm in my life is interacting with the world. So it's almost the opposite, but I think that my head does very much so exist up here, and I'm this really just dreamy person, far-fetched. I've always had these really far-fetched ideas of what I want my life to be, what I want it to look like, and I'm a bit of an idealist. I don't exist very much in my body. I don't think that I'm connected. I'm not not a very grounded person, if I'm being honest. Am I down to earth? I can be, but I think that I'm just I don't feel like I exist in my body very much. I really, last month I had my wisdom teeth out, and it just so reminded me of this disgusting vessel that I'm possessing right now. And it's sort of funny because I love being me. I love this avatar that I've been gifted. It's really fun being a hot girl, but just like the way I exist, I don't feel like I have a lot of reconnaissance over this earthly vessel that I'm possessing. And I don't know if I really want to change that entirely. Because I feel like I can live in the moment without being like connected to this body. But also, you should definitely, I gotta take care of my body just the same. So, and I think that's why like so many of the people in my life are earth signs, because these my earth sign friends are always like, oh my god, I gotta go to the doctor, I have this wrong with me, or oh my god, I think I have a vitamin D deficiency. I'm like, how do you even know that? Like, how are you so in touch with yourself? I'm like constantly forgetting that I'm even a person. I'm genuinely like immortal. I think I'm a fucking fairy or maybe a siren. I'm just a concept. uh, it's not fun at all. Okay. Talk to you next week. Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. As a reminder, we are now on Patreon. You can find us by typing in Saint Slut. You can also text me your thoughts, your confessions at 321-376-7588. If you want to hear more of Saint Slut's thoughts, you can find me on Substack at Saint Slut Pod. I'm also on Instagram at Saint__slut. You can also find me on TikTok at Saint_slut with a V. See you next week. Bye.